So firstly we will discuss the preparation of solution. Okay, so first is your indicator, that is starch solution. So it should be freshly prepared. So how we will prepare starch solution? We have to dissolve 1 gram of starch powder in 100 milliliters of water. So this is how we will prepare starch solution. In this I am using the maize powder, starch powder of maize. Okay, also we can use any other source which is having starch. Okay, so this is the starch solution. In this we have to dissolve 1 gram of starch powder in 100 milliliters of water. Second is potassium iodide solution. So to prepare potassium iodide solution, we have to dissolve 10 grams of potassium iodide in 100 milliliters of water, and this will be of 10%. So this is 10% potassium iodide solution. Third solution is the water sample. The chlorinated water sample we have to prepare. So how we will prepare? We have to dissolve 1 gram of bleaching powder in 1 liter of water. So this is water, chlorinated water sample. So these are the preparation of solutions that we are going to use to determine the residual chlorine present in the water sample. So the aim of the experiment is determination of amount of residual chlorine present in the given water sample. So firstly we will discuss the requirements. Now these are the glassware that we require to perform this experiment. This is the burette with the burette stand. This is funnel. This one is pipette. This is titration flask or conical flask. And these two are the measuring cylinder. One for the indicator and one for the potassium iodide solution. So these are the apparatus required. Next is the chemicals that we are going to use. This is the potassium iodide solution. This I have prepared by adding 10 grams of potassium iodide in 100 ml of water. So this is potassium iodide solution, 10% of potassium iodide. This is the indicator, the freshly prepared starch solution. This I have prepared by adding 1 gram of starch powder in water. So this is what the freshly prepared starch solution which is used as an indicator. And this is the hypo solution or sodium thiosulfate solution. And this is the titrant which we are going to use in the burette. And this is the water sample, the chlorinated water sample. This I have prepared by adding 1 gram of bleaching powder in 1 liter of the water. So this is the water sample, chlorinated water sample. In the first step, we will rinse and fill the burette with the hypo solution. Firstly, we will rinse the burette with the hypo solution. Now we have to fill the burette. We have to fill the burette up to the 0 ml, and we will discard the extra amount. Now we have filled the burette up to 0 ml. Now this will be the initial reading of hypo solution. So in the next step, we have to pipette out 20 ml of the given water sample. This chlorinated water sample we will pipette out. So we have to pipette out 20 ml of the chlorinated water sample, and we will transfer this solution in the titration flask. This chlorinated water sample in the titration flask. Now this is the 20 ml of the water sample taken. In the next step, we will add 10 ml of potassium iodide solution in this chlorinated water sample. So I have taken 10 ml of potassium iodide solution. Now I am adding this potassium iodide in the chlorinated water sample. So after adding potassium iodide, we have to shake this solution vigorously so that a reddish brown color will appear. So we have to shake the solution. You have to shake it well so that a reddish brown color solution will form. I have to remove the cork so that the gas, iodine gas which is produced, it can be liberated out. So we have to shake it till the reddish brown color will appear. So you can see the color is changing. So you can observe it. Now this is the reddish brown color of the solution. Now here we have to stop shaking the solution. Now this is the reddish brown color of the solution. So in the next step we have to run the hypo solution till this reddish brown color changes to pale yellow. So we will add hypo solution from Biret drop wise. Drop wise addition should be there so that the color changes to pale yellow. Now the addition of the hypo solution should be drop wise. We have to change the color of the solution from reddish brown to pale yellow. Now you can see the color is changing. Now you can see the color has changed. So earlier it was the reddish brown color. Now the solution changes to pale yellow color. Now this is the exact color of the solution. So in the next step we will add 2 ml of freshly prepared starch solution, which is the indicator. Now I am going to add 2 ml of starch solution. Now you can see the solution changes to blue color. Now this is the deep blue color of the solution. After adding indicator, the freshly prepared starch solution changes to blue color. Now again we will run the hypo solution from this Biret till the end point appears. Now again the addition should be drop wise so that the end point will come and the end point will be the colored solution to colorless. Now the deep color solution will turn to colorless solution. That will be the end point. So again the addition of hypo solution should be drop wise. Now you can see there is a change in the color. The solution is turning to colorless. Now I will add few drops so that a transparent solution will appear. Now this is what the end point. Now here you can see the colored solution is turned to colorless solution. Now this is what the end point. So here we have completed the titration, the first titration. Now we will note the final reading. Now the final reading is 4 ml. So this is the final reading from the burette, and the initial reading was 0 ml and the final is 4 ml. So we will calculate the volume used of hypo solution from the first titration. Now after first reading, again we will repeat the procedure. So we will discard the solution and we will repeat the same procedure, the same process we will follow for the second reading. So the first step is we have to pipette out 20 ml of chlorinated water sample. इसको दिखाना मैं करती हूँ. So we have to pipette out 20 ml of water sample and I have to transfer this in the conical flask. Now I have transferred this 20 ml of chlorinated water sample in the conical flask. Now the next step is we have to add 10 ml of potassium iodide solution. Okay, so we have to add 10 ml of potassium iodide solution in the water sample. Now after adding 10 ml of potassium iodide, we have to shake the solution again so that a reddish brown color will appear. So we have to shake this till the solution becomes reddish brown in color. Now you can see the color is changing. Now this is what the reddish brown color of the solution. Now this is the reddish brown color. The solution changes to reddish brown color. Now the same procedure we will follow. We will run the hypo solution. Now again we will run the hypo solution dropwise. Before I will add the hypo solution, firstly I will note the initial reading from the burette. Now the initial reading is 4 ml. So we will run the solution dropwise till the solution changes to pale yellow color. Now again the addition should be dropwise. Now you can see the color is changing. Now you can see the color is changed. Now the solution turns to pale yellow from reddish brown. Now this is what the color of the solution. Now in second step we will add indicator. Again we will add 2 ml of the freshly prepared starch solution. So we have to add 2 ml of freshly prepared starch solution, and the solution will turns to blue color. Now this is the color of the solution, deep blue color of the solution. Now again we will run the hypo solution till the solution becomes colorless. The addition should be dropwise. Now you can see the color is changing. The solution is turning to colorless. Now you can see this is the end point. The colored solution has changed to colorless solution. Now this is the end point. So at this step we will note the final reading from the burette. So we have to note the reading from the burette. The final reading is 8.2 ml. So next is the observations. So firstly, the room temperature is 28 degrees Celsius. Okay. This is your observation table. So we have to prepare 4 columns. One is the serial number. Second is initial reading from burette. Next is final reading again from burette. And last column is of volume used of hypo solution. So this is the initial reading and the final reading from the burette. And the first reading is, the initial reading was 0 ml and the final reading is 4 ml. And what is the volume used of hypo solution? It is 4 ml. Second reading is, initial reading is 4 ml and final reading is 8.2 ml. Now the volume used of hypo solution is 4.2 ml. Now these are the 2 readings from the burette. Now we have to calculate the concordant reading. So how we will calculate? We have to take a mean of these 2 readings. So 4 plus 4.2 divided by 2 comes to be 4.1 milliliters. Now this will be the volume used of hypo solution from burette. Now this is the concordant reading of hypo solution. So after calculating the concordant reading, we have to do the calculations to determine the amount of residual chlorine. So we will apply the normality equation to find out the free chlorine present in the water sample. Now this is normality equation, N1V1 equals to N2V2. Now this is for hypo solution, sodium thiosulfate solution, and this is for the chlorinated water sample that we have used. Now normality is given, which is 1 by 10, and the volume we have calculated from the burette, which is 4.1 milliliters. So we will substitute value in this equation. N2 we have to calculate, normality of water solution we will calculate, and the volume used, the volume taken by the pipette, that is 20 ml. So the N2, the normality of chlorinated water sample is V1 divided by 10 into 20. So this V1 we have calculated. So by substituting the value, we will calculate the normality of water solution. Next is, we will calculate the strength of free chlorine present in the water sample. So what is the formula to calculate strength? Normality into equivalent weight of chlorine. So normality we will calculate from this equation, and the equivalent weight of chlorine is 35.5 grams per liter. So we will substitute the value of normality here, and we will multiply it by 1000 so that we can get the value in parts per million. So this will be the strength of the chlorine that we have to calculate. So in result, we will write the strength of free chlorine present in the given water sample will be X ppm. So we have to calculate by applying this equation.